Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I get this question not a whole lot, but often enough I figured maybe I should make a video about it. So for today we are going to talk about how we can better afford figure skating lessons. Now this one is more towards adults since I myself am an adult skater. However, if you are watching this, you can also apply this to your kids. So yeah, let's get into the video. This is basically something I like to do personally. Everybody's different. I don't know what other skaters do to try and afford lessons or practice or whatever, but this is just based off of how I like to do things. So, number one is do as much off-ice training as you can. Now, this one seems obvious, right? But I'm sure you probably know a ton of skaters that don't really apply this rule to their own practice, or maybe they'll probably train off ice here and there in between lessons or ice time or whatever. And of course, as adults, we have jobs and life happens, so it can be very difficult to try and do a whole bunch of off-ice training. But I promise you, the more off-ice training you do, the better. And like I said, it's obvious, but you know, for me, I usually practice on ice for about an hour or two a day. It just really all depends on my schedule, because I know free skates are definitely super expensive. Like $15 is cheap until you want to do that 4 to 5 times a week. That easily adds up to over $100 a week. And you know, your girl has bills to pay. What I like to do to supplement that is a whole bunch of off-ice training. And of course, I have the ability to practice that much because I kind of have a lot of free time, you know, in between work and whatnot. So I usually do off-ice training for about, let's say, I don't know, it just really all depends. Sometimes I do it 3-4 hours a day. And you know, it's not all just doing a whole bunch of workouts and stuff, but a lot of it is practicing on my spins, practicing my jumps, and yoga. Yoga is very important. Yeah, that's just what I like to do. And of course, the more off training you do, the better you will improve on ice. Number 2. This one is not very ideal, but it can be very helpful. Going to public skates, actually. And I say it's not ideal because a lot of people go to public skates. So it's very different than the free skates. You know, free skates, you have 20 skaters max. For public skates, it's usually around 50 to probably even 60 people. And they range from little kiddos to adults, like everybody and their mom can come to the public skates. And I say it's an option, but not ideal, simply because it can be difficult to practice when there's that much people on the ice, and sometimes it may feel a little awkward. So usually when I go to public skates, I practice like my spins or, you know, a few jumps here and there and all that. It just really depends. I mean, sometimes you can get lucky and like there's nobody during a public skate, but most likely, especially when school's out, a lot of people come to the public skates, which isn't a problem, but like I said, it's not ideal, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper than a free skate session, and some of them, they're like an hour and a half to sometimes 2 hours, so it's like more bang for your buck. You know what I mean? And sometimes, I mean, you can feel kind of cool or like showing off your cool skills in front of people. I'm just kidding, I don't do that. I'm okay. Like I said, public skates are still a great option, but not ideal. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll book like a free skate in the morning and then come back and do a public skate because like I said, they are longer. Usually free skates are an hour at most. But the public skates, they are an hour and a half to 2 hours sometimes. So I like to take advantage of that. And then if there are a lot of people, I just really try to watch out for my surroundings, so I'm not like running into anybody or accidentally hurting somebody with my blade because I'm over here trying to do cool tricks, you know? Number 3, plan your practices. I say this because I don't know. I've definitely been guilty about this. I don't know if anyone else has done this, but fun fact, I am very much so a night owl. Like, I cannot remember the last time I've actually went to bed before midnight. And I say this because I'm very guilty of being like, okay, yeah, I can totally do a free skate in the morning. And so I book a 6 a.m. and even though I don't go to bed till like 12:30, and then 5 o'clock rolls around and I'm just like, yeah, no, that's not happening. So basically I've wasted my money scheduling a free skate and I completely miss it because I was too tired to get my happy self up. I've done this a lot and I'm very guilty of it, so I've really been trying not to do that, which is why I say it can also be very cost efficient to plan your practices. Number 4, you want to take advantage of the various different training tools we have. Me personally, I love YouTube, and it's kind of funny a YouTuber is saying that they love YouTube. But anyways, you can find pretty much anything on YouTube. I absolutely love YouTube for anything. In between lessons I take with the coach, because I usually go once a week with my coach. If it's during competition, I'll do like twice a week. But in between those times, I use the heck out of YouTube. There are a lot of great coaches on YouTube that like to share their tips and show you how to do stuff. So if I'm forgetting something, I'll just look it up on YouTube and be like, how do I do this backspin, for example? I really love to utilize the internet. It's so awesome for that, and YouTube is my most favorite thing ever regarding to practicing on my own in between coaching lessons. And the last one that I want to say is you want to buy your ice time in bulk. This one pertains more for adults because of course kids don't have jobs unless they're like 16 or something and they find a little job or they're babysitting or whatever. But anyways, sometimes when I get paid, I like to go ahead and buy my ice time in bulk. That way I don't have to worry about it, and then I can budget from there. And like I said, this goes along with what I said earlier about planning out your practices. They really go hand in hand. So if you buy your ice time in bulk, you can be like, okay, so this is how much I'm able to spend on free skates or public skates or coaching or whatever, and I have XYZ left over for whatever else I need to do, like pay my bills or buy groceries or something like that. It could be important to go ahead and buy your time in bulk, and like I said, that's what I like to do. Gosh, figure skating is really fun, but as I've said in my previous videos, it is very expensive. So of course, I've had to kind of develop tips and tricks on how to afford that. All right, everyone, that was my video on how I like to try and afford figure skating. Hopefully this has helped you guys out. If there's any other tips that you all like to do as far as being able to afford figure skating, leave it down in the comments below. I would love to hear any new suggestions or something I haven't thought of. And thank you for watching my video. Happy skating!